Congressman Mark Wayne Mullin was reelected on Tuesday by a big margin, about 73% of the vote.
65.
65.
I wish it was 73,
right?
but.
Republican from Westville, and that's a big district, the 2nd district over in eastern Oklahoma. Now, when you first ran 2012, you were elected. You said that you'd serve 3 terms.
Right.
You've just been reelected to your 4th.
Right.
Your wife said in your commercial, though, you still had a lot to accomplish.
We do.
I've read that there's nothing worse than being a congressman in the minority party. This will be your first time in the minority.
Right.
So what do you accomplish in the minority party?
Well, for us, look, if Hillary would have been elected as president, I don't know if I would have ran again. But because of our relationship with President Trump and the White House, there's a lot you can do by bypassing some degree of the partisanship and the headaches that happen in Congress. Because a lot of the stuff that as a member of Congress we're dealing with federal agencies. Underneath the Obama administration, no one would call you back. You couldn't get your constituents help that you needed to with veteran issues or with Social Security issues or any other agency that you got to deal with. Because of our relationship with the White House, there's a lot we can do just by that relationship, by making a phone call. I tell people I can do more now with a phone call than I can with 3 years of legislation underneath the Obama administration.
But do you know what to expect in the minority? It's going to be a lot
not
different.
really. I mean, look, 80% of us have never served in the minority, 80% of Republicans. So we really don't know what to expect, what it's going to be like sitting here. We know what Nancy Pelosi is going to try to do. It's going to try to impeach the president, going to try to impeach Kavanaugh. It's going to be a lot of rhetoric that's going to be taking place. But that's out of my control. What I still have to do is represent Oklahoma. And when there's a problem there, we're still going to figure out how a way to get it done. If we can't do it through legislation, and there's another way to get it done, then we're going to do that. If we can pass a law and help, we will. But at the same time, look, I've got a lot of relationships across the aisle too. Joe Kennedy is one of my really good friends, and we've already been talking about how to maybe cut through all the rhetoric that's taken place, the noise, and honestly the hatred, and show that there's a way for us to still communicate. We can agree to disagree. There's going to be a lot of disagreements, but we can't allow it to tear the country apart.
Speaking of rhetoric, that presidential press conference Wednesday morning,
right?
Pretty raucous.
Absolutely.
President says if the Democratic chairman, who will take over the chairmanship of all these committees, start investigating him, that he will direct the Senate to investigate them. I don't know how that works, but that's what he said. What's it going to be like the next 2 years with the Democratic chairman and a Republican president like that?
I think it's going to be ugly, but the president has a right to defend himself. And if there's something that warrants an investigation, fine. The investigation needs to happen. But just to do it for political points, which is what we're afraid the Democrats are going to do, they're going to do it just for political points because they started a fire on their side. And what I mean by the fire, the hatred towards the president. There's a point to where you've gone too far, and I think they went too far. I was asked one time on an interview, what's the difference between me not supporting Obama and those that don't support the President Trump? And I said, here's the biggest difference. I didn't support President Obama because I didn't support his policies, but I didn't hate him. Those, for the most part, that doesn't support President Trump, they hate him and they hate his family. They hate anything and everybody that's associated with him. And it has nothing to do with policy itself. If you look at the policy and you see what the president has done since he's been in office, guys, we have a lot to be proud of. I mean, our economy has turned around. Unemployment's at the lowest rate it's been since 1969. You're paying less taxes than we were. The average Oklahoma is bringing home over $1,600 more this year than they did last year. We have jobs being created at a record pace. That speaks for itself, but they can't get past that just because of their hatred to President Trump.
Quickly, should Matthew Whitaker be in charge of the Justice Department and the Mueller investigation?
It's very clear who can be over the DOJ when the seating DOJ resigns. There's questions on if he can actually leap the assistant DOJ right now, so we're looking at that. Regardless, Sessions wasn't the right person to be there. And so we're glad that the resignation letter went through and the president accepted it. Now we need to get somebody there that's going to really be able to look into what's happened and quit playing politics. We got a president that doesn't play politics. He looks at it black and white, and this is the way it is. Some people doesn't like the style. I appreciate his style. We need a DOJ that actually appreciates that style and does the same thing. We've been playing politics way too long, Scott. It's time for us to go past that.
We could talk for days here, Mark Wade.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it, but we're out of time because we got a cold snap coming in.
Yeah,
appreciate you coming in, and congratulations on your
Appreciate
reelection.
it. Thank you so much.
Kirsten?